and welcome to our third full week of required instruction. I thought it might be time for a quick update. First of all, you need to realize you absolutely rock. I'm not sure that brick and mortar schools were meant to be able to flip a switch and go virtual with anything, but let alone Google Classroom, which is not meant to be a full-blown classroom replacement system. It's great as a supplement to what you do, but you've made it work, and that's amazing. So after a few weeks of talking with you and parents and students, let's talk about what's going well. From our perspective, the teamwork is amazing. The way that you are dividing and conquering and building on each other's strengths, something remarkable that you would expect from your students. And you're extremely resourceful. No one ever had a doubt, but boy, are you guys able to find amazing things and create amazing things. I keep learning new things from you, which is awesome. And your comfort level with technology has shifted for sure. You need to be proud of yourself. If you are someone who considered yourself a non-techie back mid-March, think of all the skills you have acquired since then. Absolutely amazing. If you were a previous Google Classroom user, you need to pat yourself on the back too, because you use Google Classroom in a very different way. So if a teacher came to me prior to this and said, how could I use Google Classroom? Please understand. And once we get back to school, if you want to continue to do that, my tips and strategies would be completely different. What I am advising you on is keeping in mind what's going to work best with all the unknowns, like what kind of bandwidth do we have in our homes? What kind of devices do we have? In the high school, it's one thing. We know our students have iPads. In other grade levels, they could be on a 5-year-old Kindle Fire tablet. So when I'm asking you to keep things simple and to change the way you do things, that's why. So just know that your comfort level with technology has amazed me too. And if we move forward with this in the regular classroom, I would certainly have different suggestions for you. So some things to keep in mind. Continue to keep it simple. You don't have your 25 smiling faces in front of you to be able to gauge whether they're understanding your instructions or not. So even more so important now, keep it super simple, even maybe more simple than you would in the classroom. And continue with the idea that less is more. Again, we're not just teaching from home, we're teaching during a pandemic from home. There's a lot of stress. Education's important, but well-being and perspective are more so important. So keep that in mind. Also, sometimes just because you can doesn't mean you should. I have seen some really amazing work that under different circumstances, I'd be like, that's awesome. Go ahead and share that, put that out there. Sometimes I've seen things that under this circumstance, I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, that's very visually appealing, but busy, and the work is getting lost. But what's nice now is that many of you are using templates or you're assigning things the same way each week. Parents and students are getting accustomed to that and they know what to expect. The one thing that's still coming up, and if you're not sure, reach out. You can check permissions on things to make sure that they're going to work in Google Classroom. Most Google things are fine. Most PDFs are fine, unless you're linking from a template, in which case we've probably already spoken. But continue to reach out. If you need to test something, you can always go to Google Chrome to the 3 dots and do a new incognito and paste the link to your PDF or whatever you're looking at in here, like especially for those templates, and click your links through here. That's not tied to a Google account, and that way you'd be sure that no matter what, people would be able to see it. Okay, let's slide on back now. Again, please remember we're here to help. I don't profess to be an expert at anything, but I have time to help you figure things out. I don't have a course load. I don't have to be building curriculum right now, so please continue to reach out if you have any questions at all. You'll probably realize Google Classroom is good, but it has limitations. As I said, it's meant to supplement what you're doing, not to take the place of it. If you're noticing that it can't do something, reach out and ask a question. Or if we've decided that it just can't do that, if I come back with that response, you can click on the question mark in Google Classroom and suggest a feature. And they do listen. That's how Gradebook came about. And remember, the team is here for you. Send us an email or give us a phone call. So this presentation was made in Google Slides. And I didn't create it from scratch. I went to slidescarnival.com, where there are hundreds of pre-made templates that you can choose to pick and use. They're PowerPoint slides or Google Slides. My theory is, why reinvent the wheel? If somebody can do it better, I can just borrow it. The other thing I wanted to bring your attention to in Google Classroom, I want to take you there really quickly. So in Google Classroom, if you find parents and students are having trouble navigating, adding topics are nice little shortcuts, but you can also add emojis. So here's an announcement. Maybe you've given them logins and passwords to websites and it keeps getting lost in the shuffle. You can add an emoji to anything, an assignment or wherever in Google Classroom by on your keyboard, Control Command Spacebar. This is Mac specific, so if you're on a PC it's slightly different. You can pick whatever emoji you want and it acts like it's an inline text character. So again, that's Control Command Space. That will throw the emoji in, and so you could say to parents, look for the lock or look for the key, and that's where all the logins and passwords are. So some of you have figured this out already, and now that we're a few weeks in, I thought I'd take a moment to share. Folks, have a great week, and please reach out if you have questions.